Hello, hello, hello. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. And here are some of today's trends in the news. And remember, the trend is your friend, and we're the only ones in the world that are giving you trends in the news. Oh, June 23rd, 1 month away from July 23rd, our Peace and Freedom Rally featuring, I'll be there, Judge Andrew Napolitano, Scott Ritter, Gary Null, other speakers, and the Hot Damn Band. So be here in Kingston, New York, July 23rd, 2 p.m. on the Four Corners of Freedom, John and Crown Street, where the seeds of democracy was sown. The only place with pre-Revolutionary War stone buildings on each corner, and the rally is going to take place in the big garden of the 1750s Franz Rogan House. That's right. Freedom, peace, and justice. Go to occupypeace.com for more information, or freedompeacejustice.com. Okay. On to the markets. Well, the markets were down today, up today, down today. And at the late day rally, you keep seeing these late day rallies because they're rigging the thing. The Dow rose almost 200 points. The S&P was up almost 1%, and the NASDAQ was up 1.62%. So the averages are set for a positive week, with the Dow up 2.6, S&P 3.3, NASDAQ 4. NASDAQ 4%. And this is the funniest line here. Home builders help buoy consumer cyclicals as shares of Lennar and D.R. Horton on Thursday both climbed 4.5 and 5.2 respectively. So let's get this straight. You mean to tell me that the housing market's going up as interest rates are going up and mortgage rates are going up, and it's not going to slow down? You know what that is? That is pure bullshit. That's right. And what else? Oh, the Fed head, Jerome Powell, shooting off his bullshit mouth, said the central banksters were strongly committed to bringing down inflation. Well, where the fuck were you a year and a half ago? And oil prices went down today some 2% on $2, excuse me, on Brent crude. So it's hanging around $110 a barrel. That's down from $120 a barrel. And the reason being rising interest rates, slower economy, high prices, lower demand. But as we detail in your Trends Journal, there are many other geopolitical facts and factors that are going to keep oil prices high. And remember, it's a rigged game. And I'm saying that's not just bullshit. That's facts. Scumbags, low-life motherfuckers, I should say fatherfuckers, like the Goldman Sachs gang. Arrogant little prick that runs the show, convicted of 5 felonies, one of them rigging the precious metals markets. Slap on the wrist, $900 million fine back in 2019, just before the COVID war. The game is rigged. The facts are there. And they don't get punished. No, Salenti. Only we do. You're going 5 miles over the limit. Get out of your car. Stand on your head. Repeat the alphabet backwards. You're just a piece of shit. But the big guys, hey, they could steal, rob, and kill all they want. And that's what this country's descended into. And that's why I'm fighting for peace and freedom. So don't forget to join us July 23rd, 1 month from now, on the Four Corners of Freedom, John and Crown Street. So the euro, it took a hit today as well because of weaker than expected German and French PMI data. So the S&P Global Headline Purchasing Managers Index, the PMI, fell to near a 2-year low of 52.0 from 54.6. When it goes below 50, that shows a decline. Now, you go look this up. You could hardly find it on any of the news today. Barely could find it. The U.S. Composite PMI Outlook Index, which tracks the manufacturing sector, dropped to 51.2 in June from a final reading in May of 53.6. That's today. It was announced. Try finding it. Go to the Cartoon News Network Business One, go to Yahoo, go to one after another. Look, see where the news is, you won't find it. So, now what they're saying, while markets have steadfastly held the view that the Fed will raise rates by another 75 basis points in July, some analysts believe the ECB and Bank of England will adopt a softer tightening path or risk damaging growth. Remember, these are the lying bastards and bitches that was spewing out their crap that when inflation hit 2%, they were going to raise rates, and they're still negative over there in the ECB. So what kind of crap are they spewing out? The same shit they do every day. This thing is going down. The more they raise rates, the worse it's going to be. Are they going to cut back some inflation? Absolutely. All of it? No. Here, this is the crap spewing out of the Fed head's mouth today, Jerome Powell. He said that Fed's interest rates are designed to drive growth down to a level that is more sustainable and to give the supply side a chance to catch up. How's that for what am I, in the third grade listening to my third grade teacher? No, you're in the sixth grade, Salente. Powell conceded that the U.S. Central Bank misjudged, I love this, quote, "We did underestimate it with the benefit of hindsight." With the benefit of hindsight? What are you, looking up your ass? Is that the hindsight? Everybody, he goes on to say, every central bank made the same judgment. We didn't. It's in your Trends Journal. We said a year and a half ago it was real. And that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. We give you history before it happens, while these people just spewing out their crap. Every central bank made the same judgment. The main thing is, we can't fail on this, we really have to get inflation down to 2%. Hey, fuckface, this is the 2% bullshit crap you've been spewing out for 10 years. How come you didn't bring it down when it was way over 2%, going back for a year and a half? Well, because we're the central banksters. You remember the banksters, the ones with Jesus Christ drives them out of the temple, the money changers, and then put them on a cross 3 days later? Oh, then? Yeah. He goes on to say that Powell would not be as quick to lower interest rates as previous slowdowns. I think we'd be reluctant to cut. Great. Don't cut. Keep them high and bring it down. So gold went down today. Again, gold's going down because the dollar's going up. End of story. And but we're saying gold is still our primary safe haven asset, because when this thing goes down, it's not just the economy that's going to go down. You're going to see market crashes go down. You're going to see big companies going down. All these people that invested in commercial real estate, office buildings, one after another, going down, down, big. International investors stockpile dollars. Yep. U.S. capital flow data shows that foreign cash pile of dollars is close to records. The Wall Street Journal Dollar Index, which measures the dollar against a basket of currencies, is up 2.9% so far this month, up 8.5% year to date. The shitty dollar is strong, going back to gold, because all the other ones are so weak. Rising food prices push inflation rate in Britain to 9.1%, a 40-year high. And what's their interest rate? The grand total of 1.25%. But the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, says that when they loan money to you, you got to bring your interest rate 1% above inflation, which means that the Bank of England's interest rate should be 10.1%. U.S. consumers trade down to beat rising prices. Yep, they call it trade downs and trading down. About 15% of U.S. adults said they bought lower-priced alternatives when shopping. Eurozone shoppers will have to swallow more supersized food prices, European Central Bank said. The price of food in the 19 countries that share the Eurozone rose 7.5% in a year to May, an all-time high since the single currency was launched in 1999. The single currency, what a fucking joke. More globalization and robbing you of your national identity. Keep doing it, because it's going to get worse. Soaring gasoline prices start to cut demand. Yep, here you go. U.S. drivers are cutting demand. Oh, gas is $5 a gallon. It came down 10 cents now. Europe feels gas crunch from Russia. Ready for this? The latest sign that Moscow appears intent on pushing Europe for sanctioning and military support for Ukraine. Gazprom, the Russia state-controlled energy giant, last week cut 60% of the amount of gas it delivers. Yeah. You want to put sanctions on them? You want to impose, giving them armaments to fight the Russians? Payback's a bitch. But German Finance Minister Christine Lindner has warned that the persistently high energy costs were threatening to plunge Europe's largest economy into an economic crisis. Self-created economic crisis. But we won't talk about that because you're the ones that did it. Rates to ship goods from China moderate. That's right. So again, some things are going to come down, but inflation is real. It's going to stay high. And here's why. So freights from China to the U.S. West Coast stood at $9,585 a box last week, down 34% from a start from a year ago, and 50% from a year earlier. So they're coming down, but they're 4 times higher than when they started the COVID war back in 2020, when they hit it high in June 2020. The COVID war has destroyed life in so many ways, it's incalculable. So, yeah, inflation is going to go down, but it's still going to be very high. And remember, the Great Depression, you didn't have high inflation. Wall Street offices go residential. Yeah, we've been saying this is going to happen. We're also saying it ain't going to be a big deal because a lot of them, the ones built in the last 50 years, can't turn them into residential. Going back, higher interest rates, more debt the governments have to pay on their debt, only a $30 trillion one in the United States. And all these big companies, all the buyouts, all the merger and acquisitions, interest rates going up, got to pay more as you're earning less, crisis ahead. Pfizer buys stake in vaccine maker. Yep, made all that dough, keeps buying up. The bigs keep getting bigger, as did Singapore Fund and $2 billion hotel group deal. Bigs keep getting bigger. And the nation keeps getting poorer, but House panel increases Biden's 2023 military budget by $37 billion. Isn't that great? And the Democrats controlled House Armed Services Committee. Armed Services Committee, a bunch of fucking shitheads. We're the Armed Services Committee. You're a bunch of fucking sellouts to the people. Scum. 42-7. 42-7 to steal our money to give it to the military industrial complex. $57 billion of our dough has already gone to Ukraine since February as our country's declining, homeless all over the streets, and the streets rotting. You ready? This is LA Times. Thousands of Ukrainian soldiers appeared to be all but encircled as Russian troops advanced Thursday around two strategically important cities. But we must free our land and achieve victory, but more quickly, a lot more quickly, Zelensky said Thursday, and asked for bigger and faster armaments. So let's put this together. They've lost that whole region already, and they're going to lose more. And we said from the beginning, they should have negotiated for peace. Look at our Trends Journal cover from 2 days before. February 22nd, 2 days before the war began. From COVID war to Ukraine war to world war, talk of peace is forbidden. Again, OccupyPeace.com. Talk of peace is still forbidden. These little low-life scumbags, these motherfuckers, and to be proper, fatherfuckers, are stealing our money and giving it to the military-industrial complex to keep the wars going. And the fuckface over there, the chancellor over there in Germany, Schultz said, the German military will contribute considerably to the strengthening of NATO in its east flank. Speaking before the parliament yesterday, Schultz said that Berlin will defend every square meter of NATO territory. Here's my favorite here. Schultz said that the site of destruction in towns of Irpin and Bucha outside of Kiev, which he'd recently visited, remind him of pictures of destroyed German cities after World War II. Heil Hitler! You're the fucks that started it. And now you're going to go defend? How could people swallow this shit? I'll tell you why they swallow it. Because they eat shit and swallow shit. Look what they look like. Gobble down that junk food and swallow the junk news. Or subscribe to the Trends Journal. Look at your new cover here. You ready? That's it. It's a mental institution. Stop calling them politicians, lawmakers, fuckfaces. We got to start a new movement for peace and freedom, or we're screwed. When you have a fuck like this guy talking about, oh, how terrible Germany looked, How about all the other fucking places you bombed to hell? Oh, you only killed 25 million Russians. I forgot. Among the countries where this Bundeswehr, whether they say, will permanently be stationed is Lithuania. Yep. On and on. And just like war ravaged Europe then, today Ukraine go on. Interesting, in Italy, the Five-Star Movement's breaking up. The little clown of a nothing boy over there, De Maio, a little piece of shit. He said, at this historic juncture, supporting European and Atlanticists' values cannot be seen as a fault. So they're breaking up. He goes on to say, faced with the atrocities that President Vladimir Putin is committing in Ukraine, we cannot continue to demonstrate uncertainty. And Conte said that Italy shouldn't send more weapons to Ukraine and instead promotes dialogue. Yep. I'm mentioning this because there's going to be a big divide happening. There's going to be people for peace and people for war. That little fucking De Maio couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag. Another little arrogant prick, a nobody. And that's what you have all over the world. Little fucking Catson Macron, the Rothschild boy, one little prick, and I can't say the other word, telling us what to do. I'm telling you, now is the time for a new movement. I'm doing everything we can to do it. And we're going to have a big announcement on July 23rd at the Four Corners of Freedom, Crown and John Street. It's right there. Look at the poster. We're featuring Judge Andrew Napolitano, Scott Ritter, Gary Null, and we're going to have a good time. We've got the Hot Damn Band. Look them up, man. These cats are hot. Freedom, peace, and justice. This little nothing of a boy. China denounces abuses of sanctions. This is the BRIC thing yesterday. Chinese President Xi said the world should oppose unilateral sanctions and efforts by some countries to domain their political and military power, talking about the United States and NATO. Nations need to reject Cold War mentality and block confrontation, oppose unilateral sanctions and the abuse of sanctions, and reject the small circles built around hegemonic by forming one big family belonging to a community with shared future for humanity. Yep. Putin said thoughtless and selfless actions of certain states for global economic crisis, adding that, quote, honest and mutually beneficial cooperation are the only way out of the situation. You're not going to see any of this. All right? Things are going to get very worse. It's going to go down big, and it's happening. We write about it in detail. Now you're hearing the Ecuadorian president declared a state of emergency after 5 days of anti-government protests. Economy faces collapse in Sri Lanka. You see where this thing is going? Civil wars, regional wars, to world wars. Trust in media plummeting worldwide as people avoid news. Who's this by? Conspiracy theorist? Oh no, it's Reuters. Fully 38% of respondents said they were avoiding news coverage. Yep. Particularly certain topics such as the COVID. And the on and on. We're giving you what they're not giving you. By the way, the ratings on the Cartoon News Network are plummeting. We're giving you with the Trends Journal magazine what nobody else in the world is giving you. What in the world is going on, what it means, what's next, and what to do. And on the what to do, it's think for yourself. We don't give financial advice. We show you the trends, we analyze them, and give you our forecasts. There's no magazine in the world doing that. The more subscribers we have, the more we do, and we're giving you a lot. The average is about 160 pages a weekly. $129 a year. It's like 29 cents a day. 30 cents, pennies. Every day I get the New York Times because I got to see what's going on. Not one article in the last 2 days was trendworthy. Not one. So we're giving you all we can. Oh, that's $3 a day for the toilet paper record. Got a lot more here. And one thing I want to mention, UK rail strike augurs summer of pay battles and walkouts. That's from the Financial Times. What's your top trend for 2022? One of them? Here you go. Pick it up. Top trends for 2022? Unionization. It's right there. We said it would happen. It's happening. This is going to be big. You're going to see social unrest like we've never seen before. And remember, when people lose everything and have nothing left to lose, they lose it. And they're going to lose it. And number two, when all else fails, they take you to war. And they are, and they have. We are at war with Russia. We want peace. United we stand, divided we die. And remember, it does not take a majority to prevail, but rather an irate, tireless minority, keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men, said Samuel Adams. And we are that irate, tireless minority, and not that small. We estimate nearly 40% of the people in this country will do everything we can to fight for peace. Not violently, peacefully. You don't fight for peace. And I'm a warrior for the Prince of Peace. So stay tuned, and remember, check out a great interview yesterday with Judge Andrew Napolitano. How the United States has become lawless. They rob, they steal, and they cheat. And all about Julian Assange and what they're doing and how illegal this is. So tune in to Salenti and the Judge, and we'll see you soon. And remember, 1 month from today, right here in Kingston, can't wait to see you. The Four Corners of Freedom, John and Crown Street, starts at 2 p.m. We'll have vendors here, food, music, great times. See you then. Bye-bye. From COVID war to Ukraine war to world war. Are you prepared for what's next? These are unprecedented times. What's next? What's going to happen? Read the Trends Journal. We have an unsurpassed track record of forecasting history before it happens. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.